Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Good afternoon and welcome to an A.H.A.D moment, the calm before the storm. Your host, Minister Idris Taha, and with me always the pleasure to have Brother Fakir Abdulaziz, and always the pleasure to have Lord Holy-Apostle Deen Saleem. May the Lord's peace and blessings be with him by everybody's presence.
Lord's peace and blessings.
And I'd like to extend the Lord's peace and blessings upon those I have believed that are watching this program this afternoon. We're doing something a little different. We're on location, on site, you know. We're enjoying the beautiful weather that the Lord provided for us this day. And as always, we want to discuss different topics that the Lord sent down to us to give. And those who want to reach us, you know, with this message, we can always, I'm going to give you the thing in the beginning, because sometimes time overflows sometimes, we can't catch it in, you know. If you want to reach us, you can reach us at an A.H.A.D moment at A.H.A.D, M-O-M-E-N-T at yahoo.com, or our other alternate email address at Third House, T-H-I-R-D, H-O-U-S-S-E at yahoo.com, or at the post office address at Post Office Box 8795, Newark, New Jersey, 07103. With that being said, my brothers, Lord Holy-Apostle Deen, it's a truly an honor and pleasure to be sitting here with the messenger of Ahezaah. And one of the things I've been thinking about lately, you know, is how people have been rejectors thus far of this latest message sent down from the Lord Supreme to this man, Holy-Apostle Deen, and the truth and the prophecy that the Lord have put forth since the year of 1998, when the Lord sent down this holy book known as the Divine Book of Recitation, subtitled the Holy Clarifier, as well as this forerunning book called a precursor to the Divine Book of Recitation. Since that time, I'm noticing now, especially with the tragedies happening going with Iowa, Indiana, the flooding, and they're trying to downplay, watching the news just today, how they're still trying to downplay the weightiness of this. This is record, which they recorded, which is recording flood season, way beyond that which they had. And one of the gentlemen on the program, on the news I was watching, one of the cops in that particular area, he said this reminded him of the floods of 2,500 years ago, 3,500 years. I said, wait a minute, he's trying to allude maybe to Noah, to the signs of the time. I said, look at this. But they know, and the people are in such devastation, losing all property. And one of the things I found most astonishing was they were in a cornfield. And you can see the tips of the stalks, how the corn had grew. So one of the reporters said, look here, they look like mud out there, don't you? He said, yes. He took a rock, tossed it into the cornfield, it blew. That's how the water was over this cornfield. He said the Mississippi had overflowed the levees as well as that on the other side of the Mississippi. I said, wow. But they will not recognize Ahezaah's hand in that, the Lord's hand. They still want to downplay just normal. I'm saying, this is not normal. I don't care how much they try to sugarcoat it, it's not normal. So with that in mind, I thought about all the prophets the Lord has sent down through the message since 98 up to now. Of the major prophecies, still the planes are going down. They had that major plane in Sudan that just blew up. They still can't figure out how that happened. Killed all those passengers and then like can't finally record them box again. Right. So with that, you know, some food for thought those who watch this program to think about, you know, all that's been said here through this messenger of truth and reality and the prophecies are coming to pass, fulfilling the prophecies that is in the holy books of Malachi, Revelations, Ezekiel, Isaiah, so forth and so on. My brother, what do you feel, Holy Apostle? You know, the co-host.
Definitely a changing time. You got to think about why the people are thrown off by not really appreciating the weightiness of the change and the pattern of the weather, climate, and stuff like that. It's because you have a news media and you have other entities that come along and they explain it away, they'll rationalize it away, and like you said, they'll or those people in the Midwest, they know what's going on.
They know the real reality of it
because they're experiencing it. But the people outside of it, here in our region and in other regions in the country, you know, we're deluded, so we dismiss it. So the larger sector can get an appreciation of what's going on, and hopefully, probably what's going to happen, like FEMA, and the other government entities, they're going to try to eventually fix it up, correct the situation for those people, get it back to what they call as a normal setting. And then everything is passed. We've done our job. We got it back to normal, and more importantly, we've kept the people hidden as to the magnitude of what is going on. You know, it's ongoing.
Well, they haven't finished with New Orleans yet.
No. Still haven't, no.
You know, and see, my call out is Muslims, you millions or billions of Muslims, where are you? Allah sent it down in the Holy Quran about this day, about this hour, about the time of revelation. And Allah said that the messenger will be one who comes from among the messengers of old. And you clearly see that in the Holy Quran. Yet, for you going around saying that there is no prophet of Allah to come after Muhammad, not telling the people that Allah may have said that about the Arabs and the Hebrews, because Muhammad was a promise to the Arabs and the Hebrews, and it clearly said that if the Arabs did not do, if the Arabs followed in the ways of the Hebrews, those the Judaized Israelites, if they follow in that way, then it will create a new people. And it also states in the Quran about you will be confused about the new creation. And it asks you the question, do you think Allah has tired from dealing with the old creation? And do you think that there's some kind of exemption that you have? Look it up in your Holy Quran. Muslims, you who believe, should I have to tell you what chapter? Or do you love the Holy Quran so much that you would go through that Holy Quran and find it? Because it's in there. I've been around here since 1979, and I'm still waiting for any one of you million or billions of Muslims to prove me wrong. Now we're dealing with physical evidence. Allah said when the moon is rent asunder, and when the moon is marked twain. It said when the earth is cut asunder or rent asunder. And this earth has been thrown off its axis. The moon is appears to have two sightings of it. And we're not talking about seasonal. We talking about monthly.
That's true.
You see all these things happening. Where are you, so-called believers, who call me kafir? Where are you to back up Muhammad? You know, I remember, you know, I gave my office phone number. I used to get that out to people. And tell them, give us a call about the show and, you know, what happened. I used to give out a lot of newsletters. And when the brothers was threatening us and threatening our women and children and all that, you know, that foolishness. Sister called and she said, oh, how can you diss the Prophet Muhammad like that? Oh, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. I'm like, these people are not investigating from their hearts themselves. They're listening to someone else. You know, it's like someone come and tell you a story about me and you never hear my side of the story. So you take one side and you go running with it. Oh, that's a bad guy. Because you so lame-brained, you don't have enough to investigate me. So you shouldn't have a half of opinion if you can't get the whole story.
It's true.
Just leave it alone.
Like you said, Lord, they hold it to their hearts too. They get a half a story
and hold it to their hearts.
Like it's the most precious thing, you know. And not prepared for another side or the possibility that the coin does have another side. The reality that the coin does have another side.
Now we have physical evidence. I don't have to sit back and keep calling. Allah said there's no compulsion.
Sure did.
And it said that when it sent me, when it raised me, that I would not be one of compulsion. Read it. How many brothers, these brothers who represent Islam and the Arabs and the Turks and the Iraqis and the Iranians and all these Afghanistanians and all these different foreign people, you slave-minded brothers, how many of you will admit that the Holy Quran is full of information that is pertaining to the new people, to us, to this day and time, to the hour. Yeah. How many of you would admit that Prophet Muhammad had to be talking about another prophet to come? How many of you will admit, you among the Jews, how many of you will admit that Prophet Muhammad came to you first, and that much of the Holy Quran is directed at you, and that you all were the same people, descendants of Abraham? You know?
Yes, sir.
Brother Minister Idris came to me last week, and he brought me some information because he's gone through the internet and he's gone through information, and he came to me about the Kalki,
yeah,
the Hindu Kalki.
Yeah.
And I just sat there and I listened, you know, and he said, yeah, they talked about you and this and that and the other. And it had slipped my mind that Allah sent that down in the Divine Book of Recitation.
Yeah.
About that particular thing.
Yeah.
Which I talk about sometimes, saying prophecy about this day and about myself came 5,000 years ago. That was before Jah and the Divine.
Right.
In Revelation.
That's right.
And then the Mayan prophecy about this day and time. And what, they expect the devil to jump up and confess?
Right.
The jinn among men, among mankind that Muhammad kept talking about. These powerful men who run the countries, run the nations. Do you not see that they work for the devil? For the most part? When they said that Solomon had a temple and he consorted with the jinns.
Right.
He had many powerful men in his court. And the Muslims have gone and let you go to Disneyland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you get Alibaba and the 40 Thieves and the magic carpet and all these different descriptions that you didn't let become cartoons to your life. Sufi stories that had real meaning.
Right.
True meaning. You allowed them to turn them into cartoons and to have no meaning for you. I'll just give you a little example. Your little magic carpet is your prayer carpet. And if you be right with Allah and give up your heart and surrender your mind, eventually you're going to take a spiritual ride. That's the magic carpet. Talking about the mysteries of Allah. In the high realms, you know, you got many bodies of being.
Yes.
You know? And we talking about stuff that you could live.
Yes.
We ain't talking about no play stuff. You want to keep on playing and let somebody lead your life astray, and you get out there with flags for other nations,
right,
being ridiculous, and always want to come against your brother, but that's what Allah said they would do anyway in regards to me.
Yes, it did.
You know? How can it be him? He come from amongst us. And you think it's talking about Prophet Muhammad. Right. Prophet Muhammad talking about himself.
Right.
Please. If that was the case about the Holy Quran, dear Muslims, that means that book was only for that time.
Right.
So how could you say this book is for all time if it's just talking about that time? Do you think Allah, the Eternal, get lost in the past? And why would you take everything regarding this day and this hour and this messenger, why would you take it and put it into the dead world? Always talk about that when you die in heaven. When Allah said streams will flow beneath your feet and you'll be in gardens and in the midst, haven't you been told that it's only certain individuals that can open that Holy Quran? Haven't you been told that in order for you to receive that Quran in the right way, you have to receive it from the righteous? Haven't you been told that Allah is the righteous? And not these people who run around here talking about they the righteous? Allah is the only righteous, the one alone, the righteous. And you have to receive that Quran from it. So if you don't believe in Allah and the unseen being active in your life, if you think I'm spooked out because the angels relate to me, then you have jumped away from humanity. Because angels have related to humanity from the beginning of time, dealing with the first of all Adams. So what makes it so spooky about it dealing with us now? Allah has put everything in order. So I've had my little say. Post, do his thing.
You know, but the reality, what Ahezaah manifested through Holy Apostle Deen of his truth, is there for you to actually investigate. Allah said one thing in his holy book that what? Avoid suspicion, but investigate a thing. Now those who have the book of Allah, and Allah said it's the criterion of right and wrong. Why not try Allah in the right way? I say this man proclaimed to be one of the Lord, the messenger prophet. And Allah has sent down, because Allah said the criterion of right and wrong. If it's falsehood, then Allah would easily manifest it to you and show you his sign.
There you go.
But I think the great thing that Ahezaah have manifested here, not just for the Muslims, the Christians, or the Jews, here is one who bring about the universality of all the religions, of all the truths from the times, from Adam up to this day and time. And it's how Ahezaah connects every dot. So you get a full picture of how the way of life, which is known as religion today, has been misused, abused, cast down. Now people have the remnants or the bones that Allah speaks about in Ezekiel, for example, thinking they have a true picture.
And they can't see what we're talking about because they are the rejectors of faith that Allah is talking about in the Holy Quran. They think that Allah talking about people from way back when the Holy Quran was given to Muhammad about this day. That's why Muhammad talked about the hour, the day and the hour so much all through the Quran. And you know, Allah is so merciful. It opens up this thing, and you know, I was reading something, I believe it's in chapter 53. But Allah had said that it makes this Quran easy to remember. And it said it 3 times in the verse. You Muslims go look it up. And the italicized liars. Those people who try to make sense of the Quran. Because see, the Quran ain't for man to make sense of. By his own mentality. So those so-called scholars that Allah said in Isaiah and other books and Revelation that it's come to destroy them, they have written in the Holy Quran in italics. They have tried to put the words together as though they the master. You see, they said it is easy to understand and to remember. The Holy Quran is not easy to understand. The word understand means something you can stand under anyway. Huh? And can you stand under something that just brings confusion to you and feel safe and whole? No, the Quran is not easy to understand. If Allah don't give you understanding, you don't have it. It's easy for Allah to give you understanding. It's not easy for you to acquire understanding. That's a difficult thing. And when it comes to Allah's wisdom, Allah is not letting you just take His wisdom and do what you want to do. Well, why do you think the Quran has brought so much hell down to the men and jinn for 1,500 years? Why do you think the Quran has brought so much hell down to the societies? What other book have you had to fight off the false Christians, the false Jews, the false Hindus, all the people of the book that came before Muhammad? What have you had other than the Holy Quran to fight them off with truth, since they had already bent the truth in all their other books, and the Jews lost the Torah and tried to have Ezra put it back together when he was no master, and they raised Ezra up as though he was a prophet from Allah, a regular man, and try to call him a son of God. The games that the devil played with the jinn and men. And we want to act like it don't exist. So you hate me because I tell the truth, and I represent that which Muhammad represented, that which Jesus represented. You know, and then you allow a false religion to come out of Islam, called Hadithism, and you participate in it. You pick up your books of Hadith, Al-Bukhari, and all the rest of them, just as sacred as you pick up the Holy Quran. You need to stop reading the italics in the Holy Quran. You need to drop the italics, and you need to drop the transliteration at the bottom, because that's another book. Those are books that they implicated and put in the Holy Quran. It's bad enough that they have omitted words from the Holy Quran to keep you from seeing that Allah is the one to be perceived. To make you think that the mystics whom Allah has enlightened were insane. And that they were of course not realizing that the prophets are the highest mystics, the highest Sufis, the highest saints and highest priests. Allah has said it all the time. But you want to act like we live in a modern day. The same way the people of Muhammad was living in their modern day. The same way the people of Moses was living in their modern day. You want to act like this is something different. That's why the earth has been thrown off its axis after we said it would be.
Yes.
That's why the tsunami came and people was seeing people flooded and eaten by the birds of carrion and the beasts of the land after we had said it. That's why you see what happened down in New Orleans after we had said it.
Yes.
That's why you see trees being knocked down and houses being knocked down and mud being slid all over the land and bridges falling apart after we had said it.
Yes.
But see, a lot of you don't know we said it because you listen to the rejectors of truth, the covers of truth, who told you that kafir means the cover of truth, which is a lie. Kafir was a people who worshipped kafir in Egypt. And it's just like people not liking us, calling us niggas. They call them kafir. Like it was something bad. And now you didn't come and let them fool you to think it's covers of truth. Learn your religion. Study. Don't leave it for somebody else to teach you. Even with me telling you, don't take my word verbatim. Go and investigate. I challenge you to go and investigate and stop being a slave to the devil and stop being a slave to yourself. There's only one to be worshipped and one to be praised. And Muhammad's name is not Muhammad. It's Muhammad. One who praises much, not one worthy of praise, because Muhammad is not worthy of 1 ounce of praise. He was never worthy of any praise. How can you give him praise when Allah did everything through him? You raising Muhammad up to be praised is like raising Jesus up to be the actual son, the biological son of Allah. Look at your foolishness, people. Look at your foolishness. And instead of being so angry with me, turn that anger into study. Search it out and try to find me wrong so maybe you might get educated.
That's one of the great mysteries that I'm finding out now from Ahezaah, that people have heard the message speak for 20, 30 years now, since 1979. And all they have come with and come forth is what another shirk or you can't be what he says. But nobody's come back and investigated thoroughly. Say, I'm going to try to man on what Ahezaah have sent down, my Lord has sent down. And I always question people now, do they really believe in the Lord Most High for real?
No, they don't.
Do they believe in his holy books, what it say in his books?
No.
Allah says something in the Quran in chapter 9, that they have taken their lords and they learned men for God. And they have not, that's manifested now. They have made the scholars the highest pinnacle, and the scholars say that it must be true. And I dare to say that Allah showed the signs of that when they said about the donkey with the books on his back. They're going around having all this information because it's not knowledge. They haven't experienced anything, but they can go walk around and speak these words that they only read and studied in books. And one of the great errors, if you ain't trying to rely on his words or trying to come to know, to experience what's in its words, then you will become like the donkey with the books. And Allah said he hated what? The brain of the ass, the voice, who's the brain of an ass. And people have become that. Oh, I'm going to speak loud. So because you speak loud don't make you right. I'm finding that out now. Speaking loud don't make a person right.
That's right.
You know, and here you come one, Allah said again, we have one calling in the voice, a caller in the wilderness. And he's not hollering one word, believe in me, no. But as time, Allah keeps him steadfast, firm in faith, of trust in it. And the signs keep knocking down like dominoes to me. Boom, 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 look at that, look at this, look how Allah's doing that. Nobody's coming back and say, wait a minute. But he made a statement to us concerning people haven't have enough calamity yet. Enough being torn down. And the first one I believe going to do that because from the signs I've seen from Allah showed me now with this thing in Ohio, people are saying the government can't help us. Where is someone there because the government have fooled people not taking the flood insurance, so now they have nothing. They have lost everything. Where is that one that we heard about or been spoken of? And I keep thinking about the Kighty Tongue incident on the news. Yeah. Some people still say their messages today came out of the left field almost. And his whole face was like.
They said some people still call themselves prophets,
right?
After we sent her the letter.
Right.
And we know that there was something behind that because they moved her right away to another station.
Right.
I talked to a lady who was familiar, and she said, "Oh no, her contract ran out." Yeah, it just so happened that it ran out at that particular time.
Right.
You know, and it just so happened that she was so taken. She talking about one thing like the weather, and then jump into the religion.
Yeah.
And then jump right back out of it. Like, oh man, how did I do that?
Yeah.
You know. But the sad part about it is that people fear men and jinn more than they fear Allah.
Yeah.
And the Muslims don't believe in Allah and the unseen because it's the first thing that's written about in the Holy Quran. And as soon as you talk about the unseen, they say, oh, astaghfirullah, this brother spooked out. We know that most people get spooked or get messed up mentally who deal in mysticism because most people are not sincere. You can't go to the light of truth, to the Christ light of truth, thinking that you're going to bring something to Allah of your own self. There's no two realities. There's one reality. It is the reality for everything. There's no two gods, two lords, two masters, two creators. No, it's one. And I fear for you, or I should say I feel for you, who will go and try to unravel this reality, who will go and try to take your little measly mind and break down the unknown, the unseen, as though you are a creator of yourself. And you got brothers running around here talking about they Allah, and they created themselves, and what have you. I'm looking for one of these brothers to give me the answer to my constipation. They God answer to their own constipation. Because it'll kill you.
Oh yeah.
You know, you can't get rid of the lowest thing talking about you created something.
Can't even cure a cold.
You know what I'm saying?
Do the whole 10 days or more. Can't do anything about it.
But I'm God. I created myself. Liars. You know? It's like the creator who masters the sun and all the stars that's greater than our sun. We can stop right there. Master that. Now it gave birth to who? To Jesus? Huh?
Right.
I would think that if it sent its seed down in the hands of Gabriel to put him in Mary, Mary probably would have burnt up.
Right.
Huh? Because it sent this word down on me, and surely I was in Ramadan. I was on fire. The same fire that Muhammad felt in Ramadan every time he received the book. And I'm not talking about the 9th month. Look up Ramadan. It means burning, brothers.
Yes.
Moses was on fire in Ramadan.
Yes.
He was burning in the mount. Huh? Allah's word is truth. Jesus talked about the Christ light, that crushing light, that burning light, that light that will dissipate you completely. And you want to play with
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you